Hello and welcome back to another top table duels. Today's video is going to be a high ranked best of 3 with blue team over here is Victor 507 at 933. He's going to be playing a Runick Spright build. Seeing some of these coming back into play now. Interesting to see what all he's playing in that. And then Bullseye down in the red at 639 is going to be playing a Sky Striker build with a larger Bystial engine. We see him with Rebellion in here, and also a card we're seeing grow more and more popular in the meta as a choice is Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. Definitely a good card, especially if you think games are going to go into time and stuff. I know these games don't, but maybe if you're thinking about going to a regionals or something like that, maybe start testing out Ghost Mourner, Moonlit Chill. I've been seeing that a lot lately. I'll be interesting to see how much that comes up during this duel. So let's go ahead and kick it off. Victor is going to be starting us. Alright, so he's immediately going to hop in with his Runick Fountain and make sure that all of his effects get him whatever he wants. And then Runick Destruction. He's saying special summon effect. He's going to go in for his Huggins. Special summon in his Sprite Blue since he has a level 2 on board. At which point, yeah, so he's going to Ghost Mourner that. So again, that's just a really good interaction for Ghost Mourner. And even if you think like if somebody's Sprite starters like a blue, to special summon it out and you Ghost Mourner it, they have to pay 2,200 to basically get nothing for it, which is pretty interesting. So he's going to go into the gigantic Sprite, overlaying those two, and then activate his Freezing Curses and special summon himself out another Huggins, activating his Runick Fountain, and likely going to shuffle back in his other two. Bullseye said, "I've got nothing for you, man. You do that." Alright, so he's going to draw into a Runick Slumber, as well as, I think, the Aperia was winning. So he's going to normal summon the Aperia, get himself those nice draws. And then now he's going to link off. So he's going to go for the Elf, and then he's going to activate his gigantic Sprite. What's he got here? He's going to go in for Cap Shell. So if it's tribute, draw a card. You can only use one of the following of this card. If this card is tributed, you can draw one card. If this card uses material at all, draw a card. If this card is detached, you can draw a card. That's pretty good. All right, so no matter what, he's just going to draw off that. So he's going to special summon his Jet. Let's see what he's going to get. He's going to get Disruption or Starter. So he's going to get his Smasher, so he's got a little bit of Disruption. Going to link off here. What's he going to do? Is he going into IP or is he going to go into Sprind? All right, so he's going to choose to go for IP, which is going to trigger his Cap Shell to give himself a draw. Yep. And then he's going to activate his IP, get his shell back out, and then special summon his Carrot, set his Smashers, and his Starter. Alright, Bullseye's asking if main phase is okay. So he's got, obviously, no spells in Grave, staring down. I mean, Runick Summer not being great interruption and only giving himself one draw on that. But he does have the Smashers, he does have a Spell and Trap, and he can go into Avermax here. So he's going to discard, Bullseye's going to discard the Bystial Rebellion, going for his Druid's Worm. Says, may I go into battle phase? In which case, Elf is going to say, I'm going to go for Aperia. And then he's going to activate Shark Cannon, target Aperia, which is going to be met with a Carrot, which is going to be met with a Widow Anchor. And now, a lot of thinking going on here. So he's going to say, that is fine, we'll resolve that entire chain here. So at this point, he's staring down. He knows the Smashers is there. He doesn't know the Starter, and he doesn't know the Runick card in hand. So Bullseye's he's got to think deep here. I'm sorry, Victor says he's got to think. And then from here, because IP's got to be done during the main phase, he's going to link off into Mech Knight Avermax. Yep, can't be targeted, can't be destroyed, and bounces on return. So a lot of times, a Sky Striker player has a little bit of time outing that. This deck may not have as significant a problem. So he's going to activate his Sky Striker Afterburners, which has 2 in there, which allows he's going to target the Sprite. What that doesn't do is that does not target back row. So if he allows this to resolve, it's going to resolve with 3 because he's chaining the linkage is chain link 2. So he gets to pick. So he's gonna pop the Fountain, I mean, that is kind of a safe option. Turn off what's in hand, but you do know the smashers in the back, but it's a 50-50 on there. I think he went with the safer option, just getting rid of the danger he knew, you know, versus the danger he didn't know. So he's going to go ahead and activate Kagari. He's going to target his shark cannon. Victor says that is fine. Grabbing that shark cannon back. At this point, he's got to figure out a way around Abramax. Otherwise, this duel will end real quick. So he's going to activate the shark cannon and target the IP. Let's say, so you can banish 1 level 2 rank card monster you control. Yeah, so he can't. So he tries to banish the IP Masquerade. You can't banish that. It's not Spriggan's Therian or Spright. So he's got to find something else he wants to banish here. He says proceed. He says you right, proceed. So I don't know if Bullseye just forgot that was going to be a thing. So he's going to go ahead and go into Hayate. Attack with Hayate. Get his 1500 in. This is going to be met with the banish. So he's going to turn his Sky Striker engine offline for now. Goes into main phase 2. Activates his Bystial Druid Swarm, targeting the blue. So he's going to try to turn off as much of his engine as possible. Send the... tribute the Druid Swarm, get his Bystial Lubellion. It's going to allow him to get his Branded Regain. By far the best branded card. Let me know in the comments below about Branded Regain. I know a lot of decks were still running 1-1 in the Bystial engine. I've been trying it at 3, and I know that sounds crazy, but the deck I'm currently trying in, I'm also running 3 Forbidden Drop and some other stuff, so I can just easily get rid of them. But this card, if you're playing a full Bystial engine and you know you're playing against decks that banish a lot, you can just very quickly steamroll advantage, which I've been seeing a lot of. So let me know what y'all think about that. I'm definitely so far liking what he's got going on here. Playing a full Bystial engine in Sky Striker, that might be worth something looking into. All right, so Victor here is going to set up 2 of his Runick cards, 1 an effect negation, 1 a destruction interruption, and his other starter. So Bullseye is going to go into his dark. Get the IP Masquerena. Does he run anything to out this? Alright, so no. So he's going to get his access code talker, make himself a 4300. And then start activating effects on resolution. He's going to banish out the Kagari, pop the slumber, banish out the dark, pop the freezing curses. Here he can activate Regained to get himself a draw. He does not activate Branded Regained. And it's going to get attacked over here. Okay, it's a little confusing. He didn't activate Branded Regained on that, which would have been a good draw. So Victor is going to draw his Storm. And then he's going to just run over it with his Mech Knight. So here he passes up turn. Magnamut going to target the Druid Worm, making sure that Regained isn't going to get any advantage of special summoning it, because this one says you can target 1 Bystial card, special summon it. So he could, so he could actually get his Lubellion there. I don't know why he didn't special summon his Lubellion off of that. Yeah. Oh, Victor even asked, why didn't you trigger that? Why didn't you trigger it on the summon? That wasn't game. He had a way to stay alive, but he just kind of tossed it up. All right, so Victor, Bullseye's going to let him start again. Obviously, he's playing Sky Striker. Always looks good second, playing OTK variant. He's going to start off with Tip. Tip is going to get him this Fountain. By far, a much safer play, because I know a lot of people will try to Ash or kind of disrupt the Huggins on the discard. You know, make your opponent neg. Special summons out the Huggins. Huggins activates effect. But Chainlink 1 was Runick Fountain. Chainlink 2 was Huggins. So he's going to get 3 spells into the graveyard. Add whatever he wants. Send bottom 3 and then draw. So he's going to get into another Runick Fountain. Because this time he's not sitting on nearly as much of his Sprite engine. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Runick has to target on activation, right? Once per turn, you can activate spell. You can target 3 cards. Yeah, so Runick can only target 2 on activation. So he's not going to be all 3 draws. I was wrong on that one. All right, so he's going to set the imperm. He's staring down a Bystial Magnamut if Bullseye does get into his Ray, and a Runick Destruction getting one of his spell or trap cards off. Not a significant amount of disruption. So Victor definitely missed out a lot on his Sprite engine here. Not nearly as strong of as an open. So he's immediately going to go into Gagari, target his own Hornet Jones, because he's looking at if anything goes wrong in his play line, he won't be able to get back into his Sky Strikers. Especially some of the Hayate attack in, activate Hayate's effect. What do we send here? Maybe an Anchor? Anchor active play? Nope, sends the Area 0. Okay. And he goes into his Shizuku on end phase, and then his opponent says, okay, so on end phase, Shizuku effect activates. Victor says no with an impermanence. So, Bullseye sitting on a lot, but nothing great. Runick tips again. This time he's going to add the Flashing Fire, which allows him to destroy a special summon monster. Bullseye loses what I'm assuming is his 1 multi-roll. That hurts a little bit. Using Runick Flashing Fire, gonna pop it, make him banish 2, and he hits the engage, knocking out both the 1-ofs for Bullseye. I don't know where this game's gonna go, but probably not well once he loses his engage. Alright, so Victor's effect's gonna light off, draws into the Sprite, now the full engine's online. So Bullseye has a thought here. He could Ghost Mourner. He chooses not to Ghost Mourner. I want to say sure. But now you're basically just giving your opponent a lot more free will. I mean, at this point, he knows he's going to go grab his Smashers. Because he has got so much resources in hand, he probably doesn't think that starter is that big of a play issue. So yeah, so he's going to go into Smashers. At this point, he could be saving it for the Giant. Yeah, so does he save it for Gigantic? Nope, doesn't use it on Gigantic. What is he saving Ghost Mourner for? Alright, so he gets the Cap Shell. Links off. Is he saving it for the Elf? Cap Shell's effect can allow him to draw 1. Is he just going to turn the Elf off for 1 turn? Because he didn't do it on special summon, so he can't be doing that. So Sprite Elf, grabbing out the shell. He's going to link off 2. Go into IP Masquerena. I don't know what Bullseye was saving Ghost Mourner for there. If you have an idea, let me know in the comments. But yeah, that is interesting. All right, so he says his main phase fine. I mean, here, just going to evenly. I guess that was kind of his play, is he's just saving his resources. Yeah, if he's saying main phase, battle phase. So at this point, Victor is going to activate Sprite Elf's effect, and then he's going to activate IP Masquerena effect. So if he goes into Avermax again, he's got the triple tactics talent. He can just nab the Avermax. Yeah. So what I would say here is if he goes into evenly, his opponent will leave the Avermax up, most likely, and then he can just nab the Avermax and links off with it. Yep. Because Victor doesn't know that he's staring down. Oh no! So yeah, so now he's gonna bring out the carrot. Victor's gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna get you a carrot." At which point he'll be met with a Ghost Mourner. Yep. Ghost Mourner's effect saying, "No good for you." Then he's gonna evenly. He's gonna leave the Avermax up, and it's gonna get nabbed by triple tactics. All right. Yep. He's gonna say, "Hey, I'll take that, and then I will chain my Hornet drones to the activation so I can get into my engine." I mean, he did have Rose, but he's already lost Engage, so at this point, yeah, so he's going to grab Area 0. Area 0, well, so if he pops off, so he grabs Area 0, he's going to pop Avermax. Avermax effect, if it says, while this link summon card is on the field, your opponent can target this for effects. Does this one specifically say that you control, right? I see one that says, If there's a link card under your control, yep. So even Avermax effect won't be able to pop off. I remember there's a stipulation on him. I had to read it again. So he mills out the 3, gets his Widow Anchor, goes into his Shizuku. At this point, I mean, you've lost your engage. You can grab another anchor, maybe a cannon. I don't know. His opponent's going to activate Bystial Magnamut on in phase, targeting his own jet, so he can get his search on in phase, kind of thin the deck a little bit more. Yep. So he's going to say, resolving is fine. All right, so he's going to go for his afterburners, just because he knows his opponent's going to set up a Runick Fountain. All right. So now, just looking at Victor's hand alone, you got to think he's sitting well. At this point, Shizuku is standing alone and afraid. It's not going to bounce in anything. So it activates Runick Destruction, targets the area 0. It's going to allow him to get into his Ray. Unless he just banished and lost his only Ray. Nope. Luckily he's playing more than one. It's going to special summon out his Ray. That brings Triple Tactics Talent online. He's going to activate Runick Flashing Fire, destroy it, and then banish the top 2. Because Shizuku doesn't have an arrow pointing down, he can't use its effect to dodge out. It would be pretty neat if you could banish it and then send Shin Suzuku and go into Zeke and disrupt the play that way. But no dice on that. So Victor's gonna chain the Runick Fountain after the end of that to return, was it 2, and then draw 2. So at this point, he's got everything he could need. Normal summons the red, special summons the jet, adds his engine pieces, activates Runick Slumber, activates the Druid Swarm. He's going to take out the Ray. At this point, he's got to activate his own Druid Swarm. Yeah, he's staring down. He's about to stare down lethal if he doesn't get out of this. Okay. He's going to say, look, let me see your hand. Get rid of Cosmic. So Victor, oh yes, I'm sorry. He's not staring down lethal because he's activated all of his Runick cards here. So it's not like he can attack anyways this turn. So maybe that's Bullseye I was thinking. I'm completely spacing on Runick's not allowing him to attack. That's why they're so broken. Can't attack. All right. So he's gonna link his red and his jet off, and it's gonna give him into his elf. Elf is gonna target the IP Masquerena. Maybe Bystial Druid Swarm was a better target for an elf target, because if you think they're gonna try to get their engine back online, what are they gonna go for? Or if you're trying to threaten you, what are they gonna go for? Jet potentially has already used that effect this turn. IP Masquerena was the next best one. So, yeah. So he's going to, normal summon the Keldo. Excuse me. And then he's going to use Nightmare Unicorn. No, sorry, ditch the Keldo. Special summon the Bystial, ditch the Keldo, gets into the Unicorn, and then bounces out the Shizuku. Set starter. And then banishes Keldo in the end phase. Probably just going to get rid of a lot of his spells. Yeah. Yep, going to get rid of all those spells if I had to guess right. Oh, nope. Avermax and Talents in Area 0. Okay, yep. So shuffling in his spells, leaving him with only 1, turning off his destruction, the ability to destroy with afterburners, because he knows he's staring down Widow Anchors and afterburners. Those are knowledge to him. So he's going to try to get rid of anything that can disrupt him that way. So Bullseye's going to activate his Brain and Regain, hard drawing into it. And he's going to normal summon the Sky Striker Rose. And here he's got a couple plays. The Zeke could help him out in clearing and doing some damage. Gets him into his engine. He said, hey. I said, think here, put it back. All right, so Victor's getting a little bit upset. He's like, I really need to think here. If I go into starter, what does he got? I doubt he plays another red. I know most Sprite engines are only playing 1 red as it is. 1 red and 1 carrot. So I'm not sure what he's going to get up. So Sprite Elf is going to activate its effect, probably grabbing the IP. Oh no, so he's going to grab the red instead. Yeah, okay. So he grabs the red instead. And so now he's going to say, if you have any effects you want to activate, you can do it now. He's got the Widow Anchor in hand, which is fine. Okay, so he says proceed to battle phase instead. Runick, someone target for the next time monster be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn, it is not destroyed, and then bans top 3 cards of 6. So he targets the. It looked like he targeted the Bystial Druid Worm. He did target the Bystial Druid Worm. He's trying to draw in. He's trying to draw into some more of his engine cards. Gets the Magnum, gets a Runick Smithing. Ace Rose. I could have swore he targeted Druid Worm. Did I read? Yeah, okay. Maybe he didn't target the Truest Worm. It looked like he did. Alright, so Victor's going to activate his Sprite starter. Then he's going to special summon out his Sprite Blue. Get that effect online. Oh, no. Doesn't activate the effect. So at this point, I think we're seeing the full extent of his engine. Just the one blue and the one red. Or he sided out of some more of it. So Bullseye says, think on chains. So at this point, yeah, he's going to want Zeke CL1 and Druid from CL2. He's going to have to do it that way because he's risking losing his only way into his Sky Striker engine. Zeke target Unicorn, Druid target Red. Of course, Red is going to pop the blue to negate the Juice Worm, and then at which point Brand of Regain triggers, which is going to return the Nightmare Yugioh. That is actually a really good interaction. That's the big problem with Zeke, is you'd banish him, and if you couldn't OTK out, then your opponent was just going to get it back in the phase. You had to deal with it again on your next turn. So that's actually a really cool interaction. I never thought of before if you're hitting lights and darks. Alright, so here, Bullseye has got to think again. Now he's going to go into Shizuku. His opponent doesn't have a way to stop this, but his opponent is, at this point, I'm assuming, just trying to stall and tech him out. He's only got 14 cards left. Okay, so he activates his Sky Striker Afterburns, knocks the red offline, just in case Victor has a way back into his engine. Sets the anchors, and then it's going for the Shizuku on in phase, and he's going to get his engage. Yeah, so Bystial Druid Worm is going to target He's going to target his other Druid Worm. Yeah, it's going to target Bullseye's Druid Worm. Banish him out there. Now we're going to pass turn. Okay, so Victor's going to go into his main phase 1, activate his Smithing Storm. He's going to say just banish 3. Yeah, banish cards from the top of the deck up to the number of the control. So he banishes 3. And then he's going to negate Shizuku's effect. Tell him banish 3 more cards. He's going to activate. He's going to chain Widow there. So he chains Widow there because you can't. If it can't negate the effect, then it can't banish. And I think Bullseye's realizing that that's the game they're playing now. So he chains his own Widow Anchor to his Shizuku, so his Shizuku can't. So his opponent can't make him banish more, because it can't resolve the negation effect. So he gets the tip. Adds off tip. He's going to get Runick Destruction, target 1 spell trap, they call it, destroy it, and then banish the top 4. So now we're going to lose our regain. We're going to get down to 5. Or does he just save it and wait until the next turn? Yeah, he save it and wait for the next turn for the Runick Fountain. Because he can't attack this turn, so what's he really doing? Yep, skips his battle phase. He wants to make sure that just in case this one gets dealt with, he can't run over him. Bullseye says, in phase, activate Bystial Magnamut. Banishing out his own Zeke, which is going to be met with Keldo. Okay, so he gets Keldo on the board just in case to going to return some of those spells and the monsters. So Zeke, Elf, and Anchor. So again, we're seeing him turn off the three spells in Grave. Konami, get rid of spell speed to Graveyard Interaction. That's just still silly. It's been silly. Will always be silly. Draws into his Bystial Libellion. So right here, it's gonna get taken out by Magnemite. It has to, but it's still gonna allow him to draw, and then Runick Destruction is gonna come down and get rid of his regained. He's going to chain the linkage to get Kagari. And then he's going to banish 4, to which Victor's going to draw 1. Yeah, so Victor's going to get 2 draws out of that. Kagari, I think on target. Victor says target. He says afterburner. So at this point, you have to be a little bit worried. So he says, I know you have double magma and burner. Correct, correct. So Victor knows exactly what his opponent has. This is going to be a tense one. Yep. I played in the worst way and pause. Yeah, there was definitely in game 1, he had a lot more opportunities to draw a lot more. He's just kind of, so if I had to guess, he's just kind of getting his feet on the ground with his Sky Striker build. We can almost see his entire Sky Striker deck on here. So we're playing the 3 Widow Anchor. This is for game 2, siding into the Infinite Impermanences. I'm sorry, he's probably mainly the Infinite Impermanences. He's sided into the Evenly matches. If I had to guess, yeah, so he's got all 3 of his Evenly matches. For Lubellions, I see just the 1 engraved. There might be another one in deck. He may just be playing 1, maybe playing 2. That part of the engine may not be as important to him. He's got the 1 branded regained. So he's probably only just playing the 1 regained and the 1 beast. But he looks to be playing 1 Druus Worm. Yeah, so he might have another Druus Worm in deck. Probably 2 Druus Worm, 1 to 2 Saronir, and 3 Magnemite to keep that engine alive. Obviously, you want as many spell traps as you can. And for hand traps, he's running the Ash Blossoms and he's running the Ghost Mourners, not running Bells, obviously not running Effect Veils or anything else. So I think it's a really unique Sky Striker build. I think he had a lot of misplays, especially in game 1, game 2. It wasn't so much, I don't think there was a lot of misplays that happened. It was more of just his opponent had such card advantage and kind of just seemed to steamroll out that he couldn't kind of get back from it. I think had the Engage not been banished off the bat early on, this probably would have been a very different duel. He would have been able to kind of maintain his resources, but just losing that, it really slowed the deck down. Konami, give us Engage back to 2, please. We desperately need it. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about this duel. Does this pique your interest? Maybe you want to pick up Sky Striker and maybe try toying around with a small real Bystial engine and not just playing the Bystials like the 4, 5, 6 of like we've been seeing as hand traps in there. As always, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. Let me know what kind of decks you guys want to see. I'm here to make this content for y'all. So just let me know what you're thinking. Again, thank you for watching the videos. I'll see y'all next time.
Thank you for watching. Try some of these other great duels. If you like what you saw, give us a like and subscribe.